take advantage of AI. They're a cloud-based data management platform. On the plus side, the market's growing. On the negative, they're getting a lot of competitors, a lot of fierce competitors from Databricks. And every single one of the cloud giants has set up its own data management platform, and Snowflake still has not addressed where all the data is sitting, and that's on-premise inside of enterprise databases.
Okay, I want to mention both Palo Alto Networks and Snowflake are out. We are going through the numbers. We'll bring them to you as soon as we get them. Palo Alto heading lower to the tune of about 7% at the moment, and Snowflake the opposite direction, heading higher. Looks like more than 10% again at the moment. Of course, we got the earnings calls there, but really curious to see what's driving that, Paul, especially in light of what we were talking about just yesterday at Microsoft Ignite, with so much of the focus being on data and AI. Do we have... Okay, Palo Alto Networks earnings are out. Steve Kovac has the number. Steve.
Hey there, John. Yeah, and shares are down here despite beats on the top and bottom line. We're looking at EPS here of $1.56 adjusted. Street was looking for $1.48 adjusted. Revenues also just a slight beat here at $2.14 billion. Street was looking for $2.12 billion. We still see shares falling here. It looks like guidance is weighing down a bit. We'll be digging through these numbers and get back to you with more, John.
All right, Steve, thank you. Don't miss, by the way, Jim Cramer's exclusive interview with Palo Alto's CEO. That's coming up at 6 p.m. on Mad Money. Reaction here, Paul, to these results out of Palo Alto?
Yeah, so I mean, just those headline numbers, the revenues weren't very strong relative to expectations, so that could be an issue. What we're really looking to see for Palo Alto is how this platformization strategy is playing out. Remember back in February, the stock was killed, warning of short-term pain because of their long-term goal of to get more customers on the platform. That results last quarter were strong, and so it rebounded. So, I mean, we need to see more of what the report showed, but that's going to be the key focus in the earnings report, I think. And down 2%, the stock typically moves, 7 or 8% on earnings. So, I mean, that's nothing for a stock like Palo Alto.
Okay. Christina, I want to get your thoughts on the other news of the day and the other thing that's been driving markets, which has really been Fed speak. And it looks like we've got Susan Collins, Boston Fed President Susan Collins, headline starting to hit the tape here, where she's talking about any further slowing in hiring would be undesirable, and that she sees some additional policy easing needed, but unclear how much. Given the fact that markets have been repricing pretty aggressively for the growing possibility that we see the Fed pause in December, and the fact that we have seen some more hawkish leaning, maybe not this, but some other more hawkish leaning comments from Fed officials, how important is that to the market here, especially when you think about the backup in rates, and especially when you think about on the equity side, the growth picture for some of the companies we're talking about today, some of these tech stocks?
I think it's important. Of course, we're getting contradictory statements from different Fed members, as we always do. But the reality is that her sentiment is shared by Jay Powell, and that's important. He's said over and over again that he doesn't want to see any further weakening in the labor market. And I think that if the data supports the view that the labor market is weakening further, then we will see a rate cut in December. I think the Fed is going to be true to its word. It's going to be data dependent. And I think we could easily see 4 rate cuts over the next 12 months.
Okay. Paul, Patrick, see you in a bit. Christina, thank you for joining us. Snowflake earnings out as well. Do we have those? We do. Seema Modi has them. Seema.
Snowflake shares are surging in overtime, John, as the company beat on its bottom line and top line, a 5-cent beat on earnings, with revenues coming at $942 million. The estimate was for $897 million. I would point out product revenues up 30% nearly year over year. Some bullish commentary from the new CEO, Sridhar Ramaswamy, who says our obsessive drive to produce product cohesion and ease of use has built Snowflake into the easiest and most cost-effective enterprise data platform. He also discusses that they are displacing competition over and over again and going coming into this earnings report, one of the key concerns was that there is heightened competition in the cloud data analytics space from the hyperscalers like Amazon and Microsoft that are spending a lot of money to be a winner in this space. Clearly, results here coming in much better than expected, with shares up about 13% in overtime. I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Seema Modi, thank you. And I will be speaking with Snowflake CEO Sridhar Ramaswamy a little later, right after the earnings call. I'm going to bring you those comments first on CNBC tomorrow. Morgan?
Can't wait for that. We're just getting started on overtime after the break. An analyst's first take on Snowflake earnings and what those results signal for the broader enterprise software and cloud industries. And we are